What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Unified Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier number 2. I am Echo K, and I'm joined with the one and only lovely looking eye in the sky Hawk. How you doing today, man?
You know, Echo, I'm doing great. It's back. It's the open qualifier. But I don't know if you heard, we actually have something special planned here on the Academy stream for you all. It's joke hour on the Academy stream. I've got some real funny bone ticklers lined up for everybody, so I hope you're ready, Echo.
All right, hit me. See what you got.
You ready? You ready for this one? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I promise. All right. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Let me guess. To get to the other side.
To get to the other side.
Yep.
Wait, you'd heard that one?
Everyone's heard that one, but hit me with another.
Okay. This one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good. I promise. You know, they can't all be winners, right? Here we go. What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef. Dude, come on, man. Everyone knows these. How about we just give the people what they want here instead, man? Like,
wait. No. Echo, please. Give me one more shot. One more shot. Okay, can I please do one more?
Okay,
one more?
Okay. Third time's the charm. Let me hear some.
What do you get when 5 of the best players in North America are left without a team? Did I get you with this one? It's an amateur team capable of winning Proving Grounds. That's what, Echo. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. No Org did it once, and this time they are back once again to reclaim their throne.
Let's just get right into this damn thing. Let's go!
Instantly one shot. You don't have a jungler to go for a steal. You have to keep your comp alive for as long as possible. He is still untouched, but finally with the final pop on him, it is a double kill. It is an immune Gwen triple kill for the immunity. Final kill going on to Rock on high 5 goes gold to get at least 1 kill back onto him. Draco chasing it down. He won.
Old-fashioned banana slammer a bot.
If the Nautilus hook lands, the focus is gonna be made. He goes down. It's Brother Monkey for the DK crew. They pick up 2 on either side, and it feels even with the silent passive, but it's the Swain.
Can't actually stop being hit from going down there. Here's
the shockwave
on the flanking play, but they may not get that one off there. City Witty going down. Mia going crazy in the base right now. The final hour, the tumbles, the silver bolts, and evil genius. Prodigy's cleaning it up.
Here we go, the quickening has been
Raheem
popped. They're
says
gonna
go.
ahead and catch once to catch it. They're gonna be able to go into the back line. The Cyclone is there. The Emperor's Divide as well. It is Wukong popping up, getting point kill, but it's a 1-for-1 so far. And Divided, they are going to fall. AoE are getting dropped so low, but now he has been exposed. He jumps back into the fight. It's hammer time. It's Young and Zamudo looking to play clutch. Jisung versus the world, but Zamudo, can you handle Jisung? The answer to that question is no! A double kill! Jisung with a statement and an 8.
For them. Can they get Draco next? Healing a whole lot. Has to go gold, but so much damage coming up from Blaze, and he's gonna get the triple. Can he get the quad here though? He might just find it. He's looking for it. He's running him down. Azog over the wall with the flicky glide, but it doesn't matter. A quad. Come on, Blaze. End it right here, right now. They're chasing him down, and Flux is gonna give him the penta kill. Goodbye and good night, because this is
Was hard earned as Lens is the one now isolated. Flame goes up into the Feather Storm. Still, it's only Blaze that falls, so they have the damage to follow through. The desperation fight here. They're going to be able to do 1, looking for 2, but Fnatic is on the resets, and I think that has gotta be it soon.
I think we're about to see the winner of Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier 1 in the summer split.
This is going to be it. They called themselves 100 Thieves next, but they're 100 Thieves now!
And welcome back, everybody. Like we said, it is indeed Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier number 2, baby. Just in case, I am joined here with Hawk. How you doing today, man? And now we can really get that intro going. What's going on, man?
I'm doing so well. That hype video, that really gets the blood pumping right there.
Oh my God.
Seeing those crazy clips. I hope we didn't drop too many viewers off of my terrible jokes, but I wasn't lying. It is joke hour, so be ready for those. over the
That's
course
fair,
of the
that's
stream.
fair.
Maybe. I've got a few lined up for you.
We can be expecting those. That being said, like we said, right, it is Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier number 2, and that does imply that there was a number 1. And there was indeed. And if you missed it, do yourself a favor and go on back to the VODs and watch everything that occurred. If this hype video was any indication of what happened, yeah, it's a bit of a bangers going down there. A lot of action, a lot of excitement. That being said, let's actually take a quick look here at the top points in the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier, just in case you don't feel like watching it all. A quick TLDR. We can see here at the top, right, 100 Thieves next, followed by Cincinnati Fear and Area of Effect Esports, and it goes down from that. Obviously, you want those top 10 teams, and on the right side, actually, you see some contending teams. We got a 4-way tie with 35 points. And Hawk, I gotta ask you, looking at these teams, man, are you what team are you kind of looking at to maybe rise on above?
Ooh, which team am I looking at to rise on above? That's a good question. I think the one that immediately sticks out is Maryville. They're a team that made top 8 in both tournaments in the spring and unfortunately bowed out in the group stage this past time around. But knowing this team, they're hungry and they are looking to go even further. But if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about when it comes to these championship points, we got Deserox coming through with a great little format explainer video. Check it out.
Welcome to the Summer Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier presented by Unify. 32 teams will compete in a 5-round Swiss Open qualifier to decide who will advance to the 16-team group stage. The Swiss format matches teams with the same record against each other as the rounds progress. This means in round 2, the 1-0 teams will play each other, while the 0-1 teams will do battle, and so on. The 16 teams to reach 3 wins by the end of round 5 will move on to the group stage, where they'll be seeded based on their results in the Swiss. Each group will play in a best-of-3 double elimination bracket to decide who will advance to the playoff stage. The playoffs will be single elimination best-of-3 matches up until the grand final best-of-5 series. Teams will earn points based on their overall performance. Here's how the numbers break down. The top 10 amateur teams across both of the Proving Ground Circuit qualifiers will qualify for the Proving Grounds. Which of these aspiring champions will rise to the top in the summer of 2022? Come see for yourself.
That's exactly what everyone's here for. Thank you so much for that, Disruption. And now you have a better idea as to how this whole thing works. But you might be asking yourself, how are these teams even selected? And I've got just the answer for you. It's the as I like to call them, the unified Illuminati, right? That's you got the triangle going, or as obviously
I should have used that in the reveal show. That's good,
right? Or as they are more referred to the Amateur Selection Committee. That being said, obviously with the teams that applied, the 24 teams with the highest average LP automatically qualified through, and then the remaining teams we saw at 8 spots, which make up 32. They were voted in by the Amateur Selection Committee, which makes up, as I said, 32 teams, and then they are seeded accordingly by the Amateur Selection Committee as well. Get a quick list of our 32 teams here, actually, and get them seeded up as well. And then, as someone who worked in close proximity with, you sat at the table with the Illuminati there, whether you knew it or not, right, at the reveal show. Any of these seedings that kind of like surprise you and you feel like we should be watching out for a specific team? Or are you just happy about any team in general where they were placed?
Yeah, I memed on it actually a little bit during the reveal show. Of course, I was the one non-Illuminati member of the team, so I got to give like my honest hot takes in the moment. And honestly, I feel like looking at this list, the committee did a really wonderful job of seeding the teams. It feels like nobody is egregiously out of place one way or the other. It feels like a lot of teams that have performed so far this split, they got a nod for said performances. Third Party is a team that sticks out to me that I'm pretty sure has always been in the bottom half of teams in terms of seeding so far this year, and yet they've continually made top 16 and continually looked better and better in each subsequent tournament so far. So they get the nod. I think they're up there at like 12 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But either way, like they're higher up, and teams like that, so many other teams as well have sort of gotten this nod of the success that they've had in this year, and it's just great to see. I think the ASC did a really, really wonderful job of seeding this tournament. And although, it could be argued one way or another, like, oh, this team should be up or down one spot or anything. It's nowhere near the level of like, oh, this team should be 8 spots higher. How did this happen? Or something like that.
Yeah, every team getting the respect that they deserve. You love to see it. And so obviously we have some matchups for today. Now, rather, I'm not going to put you through the pain of going through every single one individually. We'd be here for a couple more years. So just real quick, we see obviously, right, you've got the top seed, which 100 Thieves next, going up against AoE Soupy Time, which is the bottom seeded team. No Org, obviously second place versus ANON, that is the 31st, so on and so forth. All this complex math that, quite frankly, I'm too small brain to actually do in my head. So you get the idea. All these teams going up head to head, and obviously we can focus only on so many teams. So we have a few games lined up for today, with the first one actually being here on the Academy stream. No Org butting heads with Team Anon, and over on Path to LCS. If if you're so inclined, if you can't get enough Proving Gods action, head on over there as well, or do the big brain move and just double tab it. They've got the DK crew going up against the Super Sunshine Fruit Basket Warriors, or as I like to call them, Super Safe for Work, even though some of their plays are extremely dirty.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that Path to LCS match definitely looking exciting. 2 of our fan favorite amateur orgs, DK crew, just cropping up last tournament and looking really good in that. So make sure you check out Path to LCS. There's tons of games happening, as we saw. 16 games each round over 5 rounds. That adds up to 80 total games over 2 days. That's a hell of a lot of awesome amateur League of Legends. But as you mentioned, Echo, here on the Academy stream, it is, of course, No Org up against Anon, the team that won 2021 Proving Grounds Spring, the main tournament, the tournament that these teams are vying to qualify for. Over all of the Academy teams, this amateur team, they were the ones that brought it home. And Anon, the number 131 seed, staring them down. They definitely have their work cut out for them, I'd say.
Yeah, no, you're definitely taking a shot at the king here. I'm not gonna lie. That is a stacked roster coming out from No Org. But obviously, you got to put some faith in Anon as well. It's all about that talent development. You got the new kids going up against the big kids, so to speak, right? It's got the clashing.
Yeah, it really is this old clash. And it's funny, I reached out to Figurative, the manager of No Org, and I asked, hey, why did No Org decide to come back together? Because they came in, they won everything, and then they disbanded. And it was sort of this crazy flash in the pan success in the amateur scene. And he just told me that these players, they want to compete at the highest level they possibly can. And they found that the best way to do that was just to run it back, with 4 out of the 5 players now being the same. They're running back almost that identical roster, and they're going to try to replicate that success, Echo.
Yeah, I mean, we also got a chance, right, to talk to Anon manager as well, see what's going on there. And they were telling us about, it's all about this talent development, right? They want to run with this roster. They feel very confident in it, even if they obviously have to go up against some heavy hitters, to say the least. But they're feeling very confident about the fact that if they just keep this talent going and progressing, they want to see where this goes. And quite frankly, I'm all here for it. I'm excited to see how they perform.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it feels like we're sort of getting 2 sides of the coin of what Proving Grounds is all about. On one hand, it's a team that wants to just compete at the highest level possible and show that they are some of the best players in NA. And then on the other hand, it is, let's show teams who we are. This is 4 out of 5 players that have never played competitively in Proving Grounds. Diesel, of course, did play for Striking Vipers last year, so he's been around a little bit. But for the most part, these players looking to prove themselves, looking to make a name for themselves. They've said that they want to stick around with this roster and sort of work to build each other up together. And I think that is an amazing goal for this Anon roster. And who knows, maybe they could even become something of a No Org if they manage to find some success.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, it's like Master Zed always said, right? Secrets kept, are weapons wasted. And Anonymous has been doing a good job of keeping their players on the down low, right? They might just be the secret sauce that's needed to take down these top contenders like 100 Thieves next and No Org. And there's only one way to find out, and that's just get the game started, as we are in the draft for the game, the best of 1. And already seen some bans coming out here. Anon taking Senna off the board. I'm real surprised there. That's your average kind of ban coming out. Senna pretty strong currently in this patch.
Yeah, we are, of course, on patch 12.12. That is 2 patches later than the playoffs for the last Circuit Qualifier for anyone keeping track. But the meta's pretty similar to the 12.10 meta. Senna's super strong. Echo seems like it's being target banned out. Other picks I'm looking out for. Wukong in the jungle, exceptionally strong. Gangplank has been very omnipresent up on the top side. Another thing I do want us to keep our eyes on, though, are enchanters in the bottom lane. Enchanters and mages. They're not just meant to be played with Senna these days, it does seem. Some ADCs have been experimenting with things like Seraphine down there. So we'll have to see if that kind of thing ends up coming out. But Renata Glass taken off the board. That is another support that has definitely been prominent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, No Org, little personal with that ban. I won't cap. Hurt a little bit. But
that was just for you, Echo.
Yeah, like they straight up was like, oh, this guy's casting. Get that pick out of here, dude, just to piss him off. And it worked. Here I am, injured indeed. But yeah, taking Lucian off the board as well, right? A pretty staple pick in this bot lane with some flex potential to the mid as well. So you never quite know where it's going. You like to see it taken off as we're waiting for a couple more bans to come out. Speaking of picks that we've been meaning to see, I kind of really want to see a Victor coming out today as well.
Yeah, Victor, super strong. I know there's quite a few mid laners in the scene that will just take Victor into any matchup. Robbie Bob, one in particular, over on Team Pending. Literally blind pick Victor every game and then just smurfs on it because the team fighting power of that thing is so crazy. But Echo, here's my theory for you, is they banned your champion because they knew you were too powerful. They had to, like, contain you. If you got onto the Rift, there would be, like, the timelines would converge and it would be unstoppable.
Exactly. A couple more bans coming out here. The Taliyah being taken off the board, as well as the Wukong. Some more jungle focus coming out here. Wukong, obviously, very staple pick, and Taliyah really needs no introduction in this meta right now as well. You'll still have to see her in the jungle. Hell, sometimes you see him in the mid lane too, so it's always safe to just take him off the board. And the first pick already getting locked instantly is going to be the Kalista, actually.
Oh, and that's an instant response from Wixie with the Draven. Oh my lord, we have an explosive bot lane already coming through. I was about to say, I like that Kalista first pick because oftentimes Lucian Nami is the answer into Kalista lanes because Kalista can't lane kingdom that lane. It's too strong. So the Lucian ban kind of opening that one up, but clearly this must have been a prepared counter pick from Wixie. And to talk briefly about this player, Wixie is that one player that wasn't on that original No Org roster in 2021. Value no longer playing with this group of 5. It is Wixie here now. Played for C9 Amateur for the entirety of 2021, then made it to 100 Thieves Academy for this past spring. Subbed on C9 Academy as well at the start of summer. And Wixie's been very vocal about, you know, how he feels like he is at that academy level. And I think many would agree, made second place in Proving Grounds 2022 spring. So this is a player I think that sort of similar to maybe Dark Wings wants to prove that he is still at that level. And I think many would agree that he probably is. And this Draven pick's one way to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's nothing to scoff at, right? Putting him on that. And I'm curious to see how he's going to perform to that. We also see that ANON picking out Viego and actually the Galio here as well. And the Corki answer. It really is about to be explosive on every lane, not just the bot lane.
Yeah, a Corki lane. I mean, I don't blame him. It's acceptable to see the Corki coming out here for Leo 99. Of course, Fire and Viper not currently playing in the open qualifier. They will be back for the group stage. It is Cozy and Leo in the substitutes here in the solo lanes for No Org. And just to talk about these players, you know, you might be hearing the word subs and think like, uh-oh, No Org, they might be in trouble. But these guys both made Proving Grounds last spring, Echo. They're pretty dang good on their own. Cozy, of course, was the top laner for Taco Gaming, and Leo, the mid laner for Evil Genius's Prodigies. So I have a feeling that No Org, despite their substitutions, is definitely still feeling pretty strong in those respective roles.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the fact that they gave him the Corki as well, something that he's been kind of cooking up in that solo queue as well. 74% win rate. That's like that's numbers you put on the board.
Okay,
and you're like, yeah, I just did
Leo.
that. Like,
I see you. That is impressive. Yeah. I mean, Leo definitely being given the keys to carry, like I said. And I like the Corki pick with the Draven because, you know, if Wixie does int on the Draven, right, you got the Corki and it's fine. Because you never know. Draven lanes, they can always get a little spicy. So,
yeah. It's some good insurance coming out here. We see actually the hover on the Nautilus here for Big T, the one and only. They are going to lock that in as well. So overall, very nice engage.
Oh, wait, that's an Amumu.
Ooh, what? Okay.
I was not expecting Amumu, and I think it's Amumu support. This was played, I want to say, in the LCK. Someone fact check me on that. It was played in one of the major regions, though. I saw the game. It has been picked. Callista can throw you in for a crazy Curse of the Sad Mummy, or alternatively, you can go in and ult everybody, then get ulted out for a follow-up knockup. So there is really crazy engage potential, and the self-peel that Callista can give to any support is extremely, extremely good. And up against a champion like Draven, having that really easy CC combo that Amumu has could be very impactful.
Yeah, that double bandage toss is just so much that they can pump out. The Gwen being locked in, I like that. It's a good response as well from a lot of the poke potential that's coming out from No Org as well, right? You've got those, I was gonna say spears, but it's actually the axes. The spears will be coming over from ANON, but yeah, you've got that. You've got the quirky missiles as well, and so it's always nice to see. Gonna be screaming a lot of Gwen is immune. You always love to do that as a play-by-play, right? And we actually see the last pick coming out from No Org as well. It is gonna be the Aatrox actually as a response.
Yeah, these two compositions now having been rounded out, I'm going to bring back my cow joke because we are seeing a lot of beef here, Echo. That is some fat compositions on both sides, especially if this Viego goes a little bit more bruisery. That is triple frontline for both teams. No Org really looking for Leo and Wixie to be able to pump out a lot of damage. Of course, Aatrox can be a massive threat. Cozy clearly confident in the R5 counter pick in this matchup. You just have more shove than the Gwen early on straight up. That triple Q really allows Aatrox to dictate waves better than most top laners in the game. And if you're able to get a favorable lane matchup, it can be a huge menace in later game team fights, especially in the mid game around 20 minutes or so when everyone's got 1 or 2 items. Aatrox coming in on a TP flank, you can pull off some crazy the shy plays.
Yeah, definitely. I really feel like looking at ANON as well, we're definitely seeing a sort of protect Mr. President kind of comp coming out as well, right? With Zev being like, everyone just keep this man safe. They got the bodyguards, right? You've got Diesel on the Gwen. You got Mabigan on the Viego. You've got Shupian on the Galio. These, like you said, beefy boys, right? They are big and they want to get in your face. And Zev will just be chilling in the back like, yeah, I do some damage. Sure. What's up? What's up? You can't even touch me.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of concerns with the Kalista, though, because although it will be difficult to kill Zed, running through a Galio Amumu, like we said, that's a pretty hefty front line right there, right? But Kalista, not the highest damage ADC, not exactly renowned for her tank shredding capability. So if Zev isn't able to get ahead in this lane, it could be a little concerning later on, because then you're leaving all of your late game damage basically to Diesel on this Gwen, and it does create a little bit of a volatile composition, but you've got the Galio and the Amumu to set it up. So if you're looking for level 6 bot dives, this is a composition that is built for it. It's going to be so difficult for Wixie to outplay in this lane. Him and Big definitely going to have to be on their game, because although I think in the isolated 2v2, I actually like their matchup, particularly pre-6, before you get that Amumu ultimate and that the Kalista ultimate to sort of do a lot of CC shenanigans and a lot of self-peel. I think this is a good lane matchup for Wixie and Big, but the roams from mid and jungle could really be what seals it.
Yeah, and I think like you were also saying, right, with that dive potential, especially when that level 6 comes around, looking at the side of No Org, you've got Andare. He just says, turrets, what are those? I turn them off, right? And he just goes in. You have Big T on the Nautilus as well, just the hook, that depth chart as well to get that knock up. And even Cozy, if he pops that World Ender, he's going to be healing so much. And even though, you know, obviously the turrets do a whole lot more damage now, he should be able to heal a lot of that out. So it definitely kind of it evens out a little bit, I feel like, once they hit that level 6 mark.
Yeah, I agree. And Anda's going to have an interesting decision in this early game, because I think there's sort of 1 or 2 schools of thought. It's, okay, I can go top side and try to get my Aatrox ahead and really shut down this Gwen. That's sort of ensuring your later game team fight, right? If you're able to shut down that Gwen, I mentioned my concerns about Anon's damage. That could be one very viable strategy, but you're potentially opening yourself up to the bot dives on the other side, especially post 6. So another thing you could do is play to protect your bot lane, play for vision control on that side, make sure you get the crabs, and deny Anon some of that playmaking potential. What I'm sort of expecting is a bit of both. I think Anda right here maybe will want to start on the bottom side, clear towards top side, and then at some point find a time to reverse his clear down towards the bottom side for level 6. But we'll have to keep an eye on those timers, of course. He is the Proving Grounds level jungler. I am not. But that's sort of my initial take on what to expect here.
Yeah, and also looking at some of these objectives, I gotta pick your brain a little bit about it. Obviously, with both of these teams have a more kind of aggressive fight style comp coming out. Do you think that we're gonna instantly start seeing some scuffles going down for these early objectives, right? That first Dragon, the first Rift Herald, or is that gonna be more of like, you know, whichever team has the better opportunity for it? Maybe they find a pick here or there and then they try and start it up.
Yeah, I'll give you a hard maybe on that one. The perfect middle of the road answer that does not tip my hand either way. Because, and it's a simple reason that there's a Corki in the mid lane. Team fighting just straight up 5v5 when you have a Corki sitting on like a tier kind of sucks. So if you're able to find a pick, you can do it, right? But if you're just straight up going pound for pound, the Galio will probably have more impact. Yeah. So unless you're able to get a lead somewhere like on Wixie, or if you're able to get like a good package angle, I would expect ANON to generally have some of that early priority around dragons. But definitely once we get like our item spike on Corki, once we get those packages coming through, No Org, they're going to have the ability to do it. And the pick potential here with Nautilus is very high. So if someone on ANON mispositions, No Org should still be able to catch them out and maybe be able to steal away an objective.
Yeah, well, honestly, we're done talking about this. Let's just get on the Rift itself and see what's going down here. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game of PGCQ number 2 is getting underway. And already, it's not looking like too much level 1 shenanigans right now. It's looking to me like it's going to be that usual 5-man lineup. No real surprise there. So that does give us some time to check out some of these runes and some of these abilities here. Any outliers you think we need to talk about?
Yeah, nothing really. Everything actually seems pretty stock standard looking across. Of course, the Gwen going for the flashless build, especially into a matchup like Aatrox. I think this is very, very valuable, as the Ignite does serve as your early healing reduction, and that up against the Aatrox really can make a big difference. Does seem that Mabigin and Diesel did not buy items. I'm not sure if that's just a spectator bug or not, but we'll have to see if that ends up getting rectified. I'm actually so surprised there wasn't level 1 shenanigans. I see it on Nautilus and a Mumu, and I was wondering if that might be the case. Yeah. It seems like both teams just deciding to play it safe.
Yeah, that's like, you see that comp, and that's when you're like, I'm not even leaving my base. We're dropping a ward on my buffs, and we wait to see what's happening, because just one hook or one bandage connect, you're basically done there. But, you know, both sides obviously having that CC potential, so maybe they kind of, you gotta respect. I'm very, it would be such a Chad move if that wasn't a spectator bug and they just didn't buy items early on. I would actually love that.
Yeah, that would be really Chad. But no, they do have their items. They're not going to try to assert their 500 gold dominance over the opponent. It would be a bold strategy, I would say, Echo, to try to not buy items. But hey, maybe they have the dark technology right there. But while the early game's just sort of playing out, I do want to talk about, Echo, we looked at that PG point scoreboard earlier, and there was very glaring team missing from that. And it is, of course, No Org. They haven't played the entire year, and they don't have any points coming into this tournament, which means that they do need to show up and perform to the level that I think many are expecting of them here in this PGCQ number 2, because otherwise they won't make that final tournament. And even here in the OQ, every single win is worth 5 points. So if they are that team that ends up going 5-0 by the end, they will get 25 points off of that, which for a team that is starting at 0 could be very, very influential.
Yeah, and I mean, anyone that did pay attention right when we were looking at the point standings will know that there are teams like 100 Thieves Next who have 125 points. We saw points going upward.
They're set, like they're chilling.
They're not going anywhere. They could just really throw this whole version, and it's like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, there's a lot of teams with these high points, and so it's like you said, No Org, they really have their work cut out for them. Now, is it going to be easy for them? Maybe not easy per se, but I definitely have faith that they can do it. But regardless, it is a lot of work they're going to have to put in if they want to make it into that top 10.
Yeah, and there are a lot of expectations surrounding this team. We've talked about it. They are the team that won the main Proving Grounds. They beat all 10 Academy teams in spring 2021. That is no small feat. So I think rightfully so, people are looking to this team to really be a powerhouse in the amateur circuit once again. And so, you've got to show up and you've got to perform to that level, though, if you want to prove it in the main Proving Ground stage. I do want to mention as well, let's hold that thought, and is in.
Oh, they're going in indeed. Not quite going to land, though. Might begin with the flash to escape on out of there. Very nice. Already aggression coming out from No Org, though. Not finding much just yet, but regardless, setting up that stage that they're not afraid to get in and get dirty.
Yeah, but it does seem like Anda does open door number 2. I mentioned he can either clear towards top to try to get Aatrox ahead, or he can clear towards bot to try to protect his bot lane. And it seems like he's doing more than just protecting, Echo. He's also fighting as running in there, getting Mabigan's flash. Feels pretty good for the early game.
He protect and he also attack, man. It's that duality. It's the double side of the coin there. But we're seeing those backs coming out, and also that's something that does need to be pointed out. Obviously, is that you look at the names. See, there's a couple of discrepancy there with Passion Diff. God, I love that name so much.
Such a funny solo
I
queue
love
name.
that so much. Being the one and only Wixie and Cozy, pretty self-explanatory. Just the O was replaced with an X.
Yeah. No Passion Diff here, only Wixie. That is a pretty funny name. I feel like that's an anime girl tier name right there.
Yes.
Rest in peace, TSM Soul. But no, yeah, just good to keep in mind for sure. We will be calling Passion Diff Wixie. And speaking of that Passion Diff, it seems like there's not too much of a diff on the bottom side so far. Just 33 to 36 CS as Wixie and Zev have both taken their first back. So everything seems pretty quiet so far. And honestly, the only real advantages opening up are Leo's quirky advantage here in the mid lane. And then, of course, his engage towards the Raptors.
Yeah, definitely. With these levels almost reaching 6 here for both Cozy and Anda as well. Really over the whole board, I should say, other than bot lane. Might just be might just be seeing that level 6 that we were talking about sooner than later. First objective on the map as well with that dragon. We're already seeing some pings. Looking like maybe they might just look to start it off right now with that wave being shoved in slowly.
Yeah, this is where we could see some volatility. Anda's also clearing down towards the bottom side. Just finished his Wolves, now onto his Gromp. However, Wixie's holding a freeze. It's the Dragon getting started, but all of No Org is here.
We called it. That early engage is coming through. We see the hook ignite, though. A huge shield of Durant coming in. They're going to try and find some damage here, but down goes First Blood into the hands of Big T. They're going to get the Dragon as well. They get the double there. Zev, last man steady, trying to do some damage. Doesn't find the kill onto Anda. Goes down 4-0 for No Org.
Man, and Leo's gonna easily get past that feels bad man tier power spike as he picks up 2 at the Dragon Anon. They try to force the issue on the Drake. They think they have the prio, but they didn't get the crash, and it meant that Wixie and Big could rotate over without losing minions, and the cleanse value from Wixie in this fight is so high. Gets taunted, but is able to DPS the whole time while still catching the axes, and that really just was, I think, the huge difference maker in that fight. So, Anon, I do believe they picked up the Dragon, but they dropped 4 kills. Big will be traded back on the bottom side as we come out of the replay.
Actually, yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah, got to, not complete loss there. Still going to grab something there, and that going into the hands of Zev as well. Definitely something you like to see.
Oh, and Anda's level 6 before 7 minutes. That's a real early level 6. Volibear feeling super good about that one. And I'm wondering, Diesel might actually not expect this timer. It might be sooner than he's predicting. Need to be careful about a potential dive here. The wave's getting shoved in as we speak. Credit to Anon for trading one back on the bottom side, but we'll see if the punish comes through.
Stormbringer is prepped and ready to go. Diesel slightly low, and Cozy does know that. And yep, it's looking like they're looking to send it in. In it goes. Stormbringer goes down. The stun, the World Ender gets popped, and Cozy just says, thank you for the free gold.
Yeah, that's just a super clean dive on the top side. Anda takes advantage of the early level 6 and gets to the play sooner than I think Diesel would have otherwise expected if Anda had to full clear his jungle. Walks in, despite the ward, it doesn't matter. It's a Volibear. Turns off the tower, and Diesel unfortunately just stood no chance.
Yeah, pulled in as well. Tried his best. No damage to be found there. Meanwhile, though, Cozy actually, they're looking for some revenge. Mabigan's like, hey, what you just do to my boy? You touch him, I'm going to have to end your life. But won't quite find him just yet. Not enough movement speed to catch up to him. Are going to have to let them go. But for now, a lot of scuffling going down this top river. They do send Diesel down to the bot lane to farm there instead, though.
We do see a full swap, as you just said. Anon seems like they're getting out of the duel lane. I actually think this is a very, very interesting choice. Because it seems like Zev and Pika Pika were feeling pretty okay about their position in the dual lane, and they actually have an XP advantage on Zev as well. Maybe they were looking for a bit of a Herald play, wanting to use Kalista to try to secure an early objective. But with Mabigan just being behind Anda, I don't think it matters that Anda doesn't have his ult. It's just so difficult for them to fight right now. They're still postured around it, but they are using a lot of time on this. No Org's been able to regain wave control. Leo 99 is in base, though. No TP.
Yeah, they are starting up this Herald here, though. Big T and Wixie both there as well. Not going to be able to do anything just realized that obviously, grab some info that they were there. Free little Herald going into the hands of ANON as well. And so where do you think we're going to see that one being placed?
I definitely going to go towards the Kalista lane. I think there's no doubt in my mind. That has been where ANON seems like they've been focusing so far. They've roamed Mabigin basically around with the bottom lane the entire time so far. And as we kind of primed in Champ Select, this Kalista does need to get a little ahead to have relevant damage later on. And he's the master of the timer still.
Oh my god, Mabigin gonna have to use that Heartbreaker to get over the wall there. They'll kind of almost like gave him the free knowledge that he was there when he popped that mist onto the wall there, and yeah, they went hunting and they found him. But Mabigin does survive for now.
Yeah, and for maybe newer fans of the scene that have, are wondering why Anda looks so good so far, this guy played in LCS a couple years ago for a split or two. So Anda, some may say, is pretty good at jungle. And so far, making it happen. The timer for the dive on top side was super clean. Then knows that Mabigin's camps are going to be respawning on the bottom side after the Herald play, immediately walks in again, just flexing his muscles on his level lead. Even though Leo 99 still isn't that strong, this Volibear is just way ahead of the Viego, so you can basically force whenever you want.
Yeah, and with some amazing roams coming out as well right by Leo, it's just like, really, it's always going to be a 2 versus 1, if not 3 versus 1, if you get an extra rotation coming through, and you just always have to be wary of that, especially when you are Mabigin. You can't even step into your own, you can't even farm in your own jungle without having to worry about Handa just coming around the corner, just slapping you in the face and taking you out.
Yeah, and Zev and Pika Pika, though, they are actually playing this duo lane really nicely, zoning Wixie off of the wave right there and forcing him to use the ultimate. That will be down now for the Dragon, and although that's not the most impactful ult in the game, it definitely does still matter. So credit to the ANON bot lane. They're managing to make something happen, and even so, it looks like they're going to try to trade for plates and maybe a tower on the top side instead of the drag, but No Org, they're ready for this play, and they're roaming up with the package.
Yep, they do end up dropping that Rift Herald down into that Zev lane, as you pointed out. Big T, first one to step into the book, though. Let's get hooked. We see the Bandit toss coming out as well. A lot of damage coming out. Gonna look to find something here. The disengage, though, rather. And he's just getting knocked up. 1, 2, 3. But it doesn't even matter. They find that first pick onto Shupi, and they're looking to keep it going. Mabigin getting lower and lower. Down he goes. And Lexi, he's doing so much damage. Wixie, oh my god, with a nice little 3-man there. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, and poor Zev, he just doesn't do enough damage to the Beef Squad Echo. He got a few so low, but man, Package is a broken ability, Echo. Leo looked like he was going to get caught up by the Galio ultimate, but instead he has an absolutely amazing Package come through. Just look at the timing and placement, able to go unstoppable, to dodge that, and then Zev, he can't get into the fight without risk of getting burned to death on it, and by the time it expires, the fight is just already lost. No Org, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and Wixie with some great positioning as well, that lethal tempo as well, allowing him to throw those axes from such a far distance and those empowered ones as well. And this is exactly what you love to see, because Wixie is one of those players that we kind of talked about, right? That is, has been posting how wants to be able to kind of, show that he has what it takes to get back into that academy scene, that he's willing to show up, put in the work, put down the numbers, and he's doing exactly that right now.
Yeah, I mean, really strong showing from the 2 carries of No Org. To give a shout out to Leo as well. Massive CS lead in the mid lane. I said that Corky's not even strong yet, and this is true. Corky's not hit his item spike yet, and he's already killing everyone. I fear for what will happen once he really gets online with that, presumably Leandry's in this game, I would expect, and the Muramana. I mean, this is just going to be so much damage. And, the blind pick Galio, I respect the attempt from ANON. Clearly, they were going for this bot dive, play for the Kalista kind of composition. But, I mean, that just opened up the Corky counter pick so nicely for Leo. And, it wasn't flashy, but he made it happen. He was able to be first on a lot of timers, able to get a big CS lead, and just playing a really clean game.
And if you weren't worried already about Anda running into your face, now he's got that turbo chem take as well. So he's going to be even faster than before. You hate to see it if you're on the side of ANON. They do pick up another drag, one more, and they'll be on that soul point. So at least they're getting something there on the map.
Yeah, for sure. ANON does still have opportunities, but the gold advantage is just so massive for just 13.5 minutes in the game. Plates are just now falling, and No Org has really just taken everything on the map. This is a team, again, we had high expectations for, and so far, up against ANON, they are living up to them.
Yeah, definitely. of a push here in this mid lane. Maybe
He's
looking to pivot down. Yep, he is kind of stuck under that turret. The Skybringer is, once again, the Stormbringer, excuse me, is available on and so if they want to try something, they definitely can. Still have Wixie, meanwhile, in this mid lane looking to shove this out, try and get rid of that tier 1, open up the map even more for them. Looking to send it, in he goes. Turret's been shut down.
Wait a minute, TP!
Oh yeah, TP coming out as well to try and protect them. Looking to go in though, but the disengage coming out instead. No Org, not going to risk anything, want to get out of there, but Cozy might have stepped up a bit too far. Just gets Sun down, pops the World Ender as well so we can heal a bit more. Going to try and maybe go for that re-engage. In they go. Can they find the damage they're looking for? It's not looking too likely. Down goes Cozy into the hands of Zev. The heroic entry as well. Madigan with that reset looking to do some damage here, and he's finding it indeed. Heartbreaker not quite going to connect, but Andra, can he escape this one? He will indeed. That shield is going to be large enough, and now Zev trying to find that damage. Going to do a little bit of poke. Meanwhile, oh no, Leo needs to be careful. Whoa! What was that? So much damage coming through. The rockets. Gwen is immune, and so Diesel won't go down just yet. Leo, hot pursuit, trying to find Diesel here. If he can just land 1 or 2 more rockets, might be able to get it, but is going to go ahead and let Diesel go. Let him tell the story of what happened. Whoa! Huge hook coming out from Big T, putting up those big hooks, and down goes Zev into the hands of Wixie.
Oh, I thought Leo was inting in the river, but he just called in the tactical nuke. My lord, that is a Ludens online. Blows Anon into next week, and for a second there, I thought Anon had found their play. I thought No Org had overstepped, and although they get the pick onto Cozy, the extended team fighting and the gold advantage is just way too clean from the PGCQ 2021 Spring Champions, and No Org, they turn it around, and that's another double for the Corki.
Yeah, looking good overall so far. Madigan did find something there originally, though, finding Cozy, obviously slightly overextended. They are able to take him out. It's just a shame that Heartbreaker doesn't end up actually connecting onto Andez. Cozy here as well to help them. They go ahead and grab themselves that Rift Herald as well. Just because of that, Anda was able to escape, and, I mean, then Leo happened.
Okay, I don't know if I'm big braining this a little too much. It was probably just Anda thinking, ooh, crab, farm. But I'm like, is that like some tactical, like, oh, the Herald will last another couple seconds, so like I can spawn it right like at 20 minutes kind of thing? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's some super secret dark technology that I've not heard of. But either way, yeah, Anda able to pick up the Herald right there. It's pretty free at this point. All 3 outer towers have been taken down, so No Org having basically full control of the river, because Anon, unfortunately, they're just not strong enough to really fight for that control. Zev may have a couple kills and actually some decent farm to his name. This Kalista is reasonably strong. The rest of his team is unfortunately very far behind, and it makes it so difficult to stare down this ultra-fed Draven and Corki.
Yeah, because as we said, right, obviously, Anon is going to try their best to keep Zev alive. They have been doing somewhat of a decent job of that, as he does have those 2 kills. But yeah, it's super difficult being able to be that frontline tank. Let's find something here, though. Spectral Mod is get charged. The Bandit toss as well. Curse of the Sad Mummy gets dropped as well. The fake call, though. Can they find the killer? They will not. They find Mav again. Zev looking next on their list. They get him as well. Pika needs to run for his life. Get under the turret. There comes the ultimate, though, from Anda. And they're looking to take them all out. Down goes 2. Down goes another. He's the last one. And he's taken off the board. And no one from the side of No Org goes down. It might be No Org, but it's all skill, baby.
Oh, that was a good one-liner right there. It's all skill indeed. They make it happen, and it's exactly what we were talking about. Anon, they're just not strong enough to contest for their jungle. They try to find a pick, but even the support Nautilus is pretty damn tanky when he's got 11 kill participation. He's able to stay alive, kite it out with his team, and the damage that this Draven is pumping out is just astronomically high. I like the attempt again. You know, you've got your strong AD carry here. You've got the Amumu. Maybe you can try to find a little bit of a pick. It seems like it's just the Draven, but unfortunately, Anda was on the flank, and there's no running from the bear.
Yeah, I also feel like the fake call for Pika maybe a bit early there as well, taking him out of the fight instantly. Hate to see it, and overall, it's so sad to see because they're finding these really good opportunities. It feels like, look at that, there's so much damage. There's nothing they can do. They're finding these really good opportunities where they can catch someone out, but they just don't have the damage. They don't have the tankiness needed to actually translate those catches into those winnable fights, because then it's just like, Wixie pulls up, Leo pulls up, they're like, hey, your health bar is mine, thank you.
Yeah, pretty much. And I do want to say, like, even though No Org is very fed and it makes some of these team fights look easy, I want to say that was actually a very well-played team fight from No Org. The target selection was incredibly clean across the board. Leo, Anda, and Wixie were all focus firing onto single targets one at a time. Notice how each person died. Like, they would get taken from 100 to 0. Then their teammate would. Then their teammate would. It wasn't a lot of split focus. It wasn't a lot of getting people low and then finishing them off. It was focus down the next member that is easier for us to kill. And even though this game is all but over in favor of No Org, it's good to see just good team fighting fundamentals, and it sort of bodes well for the coordination of this team going forward.
Yeah, definitely. Like they got their work cut out for them, and if they keep it up like this, definitely they'll be making their way up the ranks. Say the least, as the tier 2 does go down in this mid lane. This map is just wide open for the side of No Org. Not having lost a single turret on the map yet, they are really just dominating the whole rift right now.
I feel like it's definitely an achievement to have basically gotten all five. Oh, okay, well, no, I'm a liar. They've got 5 3/4 of the outer turrets before Baron even spawns. That I feel like should be one of those challenges on the League client right there, because usually teams will use that first Baron to knock down the inner turrets, but no Org took them down without even needing it. Now, Anon, they're going to posture to try to stop this Baron. Wixie has taken a chunk. It's 5v3.
Ooh, looking to go in the ultimate, coming out huge. 3-man stun, trying to find something. But once again, they just lack the damage. They find the pick at least onto Big T, and they're going to look to keep moving it on Anda. Flashing over the wall to get over the heartbreak over the wall, though. They're getting that first kill. They're actually looking to do something, but Leo does too much damage. It doesn't even matter. You can get as many kills as you want. Leo's just going to take you out.
Yeah, Leo, once he arrives with the package, it is a wrap. Anon, they managed to find 2 this time. That is definitely their best fight yet. And the engage here actually maybe a little bit botched. Some miscommunication perhaps as Pika Pika lands the bandage toss, but then gets immediately yoinked out. And even though he's able to throw himself back in, it is just sort of that staggering of the engage. You would have loved to have saved that Fate's Call cooldown if you didn't need to burn it, you would think. And either way, I don't think it made too much of a difference in the outcome of the fight, as No Org, they are too clean, and most importantly, they are too fed. That's a 20,000 gold advantage at 21 minutes. That's 1,000 gold per minute. That's actually insane.
That is actually insane, to say the least. My God, No Org is putting on a performance for us right now, and honestly, I'm here for it all.
Yeah, they really are. This is a clinic, and I'm sure some people could look at this game and think,
God,
like,
look at that graph.
That's a gold graph. That's what you like to see if you are a No Org fan. Anon will have difficulty coming back from this one, I would say. But, you know, it is, of course, just the first game, and I think a lot of people can look at this game and think, oh, you know, it's a 2 seed against a 31 seed, and we expected this. And, you know, there is something to be said for that. Yeah, this is the expected result, but the reason why this game has been so impressive from No Org is just the level of cleanliness that they have played with, their understanding of timers, their ability to fight together as a team. That's what you want to see from a team that wants to contend from the top, or for the top, excuse me. And if you're Anon, you know, yeah, this game's a feel bad, but you've got one more loss that you can still take before you're even eliminated. You only need to win 3 out of 5 games in this open qualifier to advance. So taking a pretty tough loss to one of the tournament favorites, starting it off, while not ideal, it's most certainly not the end of the world for this young team.
Yeah, and definitely a lot to learn from this as well, right? We talked about how obviously they're looking to just, you know, hone in at that talent as they continue in this split. And so obviously, you know, the only mistake is not learning from mistakes. And so you can always look back to this, and there's plenty to just look at and learn from it. But I will say, it's not over till it's over. I'm gonna just throw that out there. It's not over till it's over, and maybe they're looking to end it here right now. Diesel kind of stuck pretty deep in there. Does go gold, healing out quite a bit. Huge stun coming out though from Pika Pika, and it's not over till it's over. Like I said, they go 1 for 1 with the reset though. Too much damage coming out. Down goes Pika Pika. Diesel last man standing, and the rocket finds its mark. And No Org just said, "Be quiet, Echo, because it's over."
It's signed, sealed, and delivered. No Org should be able to close this one out. 24 minutes in. Anon, they try to find the fight, but it is stop, watch, diff. No Org looking clean in game number 1 of the open qualifier.
Yeah, with this taking that first 5 points into the bag, you love to see it. They need every point that they can get. Okay, come on now. That's just BM. Let him be. Let Zef be. Please don't do this to him. Okay, they're not gonna take him out. Oh, unless no. Okay, whew. Got a little worried there. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, No Org with a very, very strong performance, showing why they were the champions not too long ago.
Yeah, it is indeed convincing. And again, this is a team that said, we want to play at the top level again, and this is where we think we can do it. As our team coming back together, Orgless, they're not joining another org. They are just a group of 5 players that want to compete at the highest level, and they know that they can. And these are all players as well. They took a break from competitive after 2021 spring, after the success that they had. They were vying to get up to that next level. Some of them did. Wixie, not even on the original No Org roster, right? Went up, played in Academy for a split, but now they're back here in Amateur, and they're looking to prove themselves one more time, and this was most certainly the first step to doing so.
Yeah, I need to know what No Org did during their break so I can do that too, so I can get that good. Honestly, my solo queue teammates would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, it was so nice to see, right? It was just chef's kiss. That's all you can really say to it, because it was a great performance overall. And it's just so nice to see Wixie, for example, who was like, I'm looking to show up and show why I deserve to be at the top. And that was a pretty good performance. Actually, pretty good is not even doing it justice. That was an amazing performance.
Yeah, I would say Wixie definitely earning his spot on No Org in game number 1 right there. Really, really nicely done. Pulling out the Draven, instantly counterpicked with the Callista. Clearly feeling confident in that matchup and getting it done. And I do want to toss my hat to ANON as well, even though that was, a tough loss, most certainly. Remember, this is a team of 4 players that have never played competitively in the Proving Grounds Circuit Qualifier so far. They're coming in, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They want to practice together as 5 and make each other better. And I think playing against literally one of the best teams, if not the best team in this tournament in the first game, that is absolutely one way to improve. And you've still got 4 more games to try to make it into that top 16.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to ANON and to seeing what else they do, what they put up on the board. But for now, we're going to throw it to a quick break. And when we're back, we got some Gaster Cabana conversations going down as we wait for the next match to be seeded through. So don't go anywhere.